with that said, bro, like I mentioned, there's a big part of this, where I've opened up and I've how can I say, I've released a lot of luggage, a lot of baggage that I used to carry around. But but I've got to a point now where I understand that there's still a very key, important part of my work that is for my people, specifically. And that's why, we got melanated people all around the world, all around the globe, going through very similar struggles, whether in the States, Europe, and Asia, you name it. I've got people and communities around that are going through challenging situations right about now. And you've made it clear, like I've experienced myself, that these psychedelics, entheogens have supported you in moving through that, and getting to a point where you're now sharing that, with the community. So that's what this platform was about, bro. And I'd just like to delve into that psychedelic phenomenon of how do you feel that in the here and now and moving forward, psychedelics, entheogens, call it what you want, mushrooms, LSD, can support our people in moving forward, simply because it is still, where I'm from, pretty much a taboo subject, man. It's like, they're like, why the hell how the hell can psychedelics help me, deal with some of these trauma, challenges, experiences that we're having? And people like ourselves, will definitely shout from the top of the roofs that they'll have supported us as individuals, but collectively, community-wise, how do you feel we can move forward or progress with these plants?
Well, I think that it's time to recognize ourselves again and recognize our potentials and like not be afraid to step into our roles. Because there's individuals that are in the community that have a higher tolerance for psychedelic substances. And usually because of the level of legality and things, it's usually the person that can smoke a lot of weed. It's the person that smokes a lot of weed is usually the person that can handle a lot of psychedelics. And that person generally is going to be having to have psychedelic experiences for people that can't have them. They're generally going to be the voyager, the one that goes out into the realms that hasn't been there before. And when they come back, they're going to be talking a whole bunch of shit that nobody else has heard before. They're going to be speaking some almost new languages. It's like they're the ones that trekked over the ocean, met the Native Americans, and come back like talking about some other else, or they're whatever, you know what I mean? And like, so like they've delved out into the world and they saw something that you can't unsee. So they're going to bring it into their reality. Just like whenever somebody starts consuming cannabis, their perspective changes. Like you're not going to be the same person that you were before. And some people, it makes them afraid when you say something like that. But like, what's so good about the person you are before? Like, honestly, but the person I was before was an asshole. I'm not going to lie. Like the person I was before was struggling. Like the person I am now is beautiful and treats the people around me beautiful. And like, I'm having a lot of success in life in comparison to where I was before. I didn't even look good. Like, and so like, I'm like, yo, what's so good about the person I am right now? The person I am right now is struggling. So like, if there is a potential for me to be a better person, I might as well go take that. But so like those people come back with those experiences and they start sharing it with their community. You see stuff that you can never unsee. You start having to act on it. Like maybe you start eating different. Maybe you start wearing stuff different. Maybe you start getting interested in doing meditation or something. And in doing that, people are going to see you. Like you're in a community, you're in a family. Somebody's going to see you being different, and they might ask you questions. And I think the best thing to do is the people that start to go in those journeys is to not lose yourself in the experience, but also use the experience. I find that a lot of times, because the experience can be so blissful and people haven't felt that level of love and comfort in their life. Like a lot of times people take the psychedelics and it feels like you're feeling like a hug. Like it feels like somebody's giving you love or giving you a hug or giving you a kiss, like your mom when you were a baby. If you even were lucky enough to have that experience, because I know people that were born in this world that didn't even have a mom to give them a kiss when they were a baby, and people expect them to know what love is about. You know what I mean? So like sometimes you can take some psychedelics and it feels like a mom giving you a kiss and breastfeeding you and giving you a hug when you're a baby. It's the most comforting thing ever, and you can lose yourself in how comfortable and how loving it feels. But like you can also recognize that your brain is 100% faster and working crazier than it could ever be when you're not on it, and use those 6 hours to advance your situation. Or you could just be laid out on a couch, vibing out, like rolling around, kind of just like playing with crystals on the floor, which could be equally as beneficial. But like I would take the acid and I would like clean up my house until my house was efficient, and I would make everything in the right, put put the systems in the right place so the energy was moving through my house the right way. And when I say energy, people like, it's so like untangible that people don't even know what the heck it means when I say energy, but like the energy in the sense of like resources, like where is like, how's the funds moving through how's the financial energy moving through my house? How's the food moving through my house? How's the dirt and dust moving through how is the energy moving through my house, made it the most efficient way possible to make my body in harmony, make my mind in harmony with my space. And then I start doing it outside of my house with my gardens, and then I start doing it with my community. You know what I mean? So like, I think that once the people get tapped in with those psychedelics and get to the level of health, because I think it's like, I think a lot of the psychedelics is about like meeting people where they're at and bringing them to a level of health. And it's like, unfortunately, we're like at this point where like our grandparents ate the nasty food and our parents ate the nasty food, and we were born with diabetes, or we were born with some fucking disease that no kid should fucking have. Like, kids are being born with diseases that no kid should have, no human should really even be having, because we're generationally unhealthy. It's in our DNA. Our DNA is susceptible to the damage of the chemicals and the nasty shit that we've been putting in our body and breathing in. So like the children are being born with the illnesses. So a lot of times it takes a significant amount of healing to even get to that point where you're able to take a step forward. Because like we got generational trauma to unravel. It might be some, like your grandparents were brought over on a slave ship. It might be your grandparents were eating McDonald's every day. Like, you don't know what it is, but it's in our body still. So like you got to figure out what that is and then get to it. But like, and that sounds like such a task for people. But that's why I said there's somebody in your community. The community needs to recognize who's that person that can take the high levels of psychedelics to be the person that can do it for the people that can't. Because not everybody can take those experiences. Some people got schizophrenia. Some people got whatever. They'll take the psychedelics and try and kill themselves or something. It's like that. It really is like that. I have people in my own family that I've had experiences with, stuff like that. Not people with mental instabilities don't need to be taking psychedelics like that. Like, it's a real, like this world can really create a really mentally unstable person, and then to be brought into the present and realize that you're surrounded by trash and that like the money is evil and things like that. And the church could have, maybe somebody fucking did something to you when you were little, like, and then you eat acid and you realize all that shit. That could be the most scary thing that ever happened if you don't know how to deal with it. So I'm just like, some people don't need to be having those experiences, but some people can go so far into those experiences that they can translate it to the people that can't in their community. So like, I feel like it's like time for those people to recognize that they're a shaman, like for real, and then take on that role of the social psychologist. I think that so many people are so caught up in like the drug culture and the drugs being illegal and illicit that it's like such a taboo thing, and like, ooh, drugs, get high, that they think the shaman is just like a drug dealer. But the shaman is a social psychologist, and every community always has birthed into a community as there's a shaman. There's one everywhere. I know there is.
Nice. Oh yeah, I've not heard it being put like that on my platform so far, and I can definitely relate to that, man. That's like the 100 monkey syndrome theory, where somebody does, it has the butterfly effect, and not everybody has to try to be the leader, to be the hero, and it's like, knowing your role. I always talk about the football team, not everybody can be the striker, or you call it soccer. But not everybody can be the striker. We need a goalkeeper. We need a left back, a right back. Everybody's got to play their position. So I appreciate, again, that you share that, and I'm sure that the listeners will too.